I should just have a chicken parmesan with a side of chips.
Sounds pretty much right.
Perfect. Well, enjoy your meal. Someone will be waiting for you to pay up at the front counter for when you're finished.
Ha! Yes! I can pay for this food for sure!
What do you want?
I may need your help with something. I forgot my wallet at home.
You...
You know, I should do something about me just sitting around all the time listening to music. I've so much I've studied and taken into account with it that I feel like I'm just wasting my time not doing something with it.
Well, join a band or something. Or maybe bug someone else for a change. I'm over you talking about music to me all the time.
Well, do you blame me? I mean, I spend all my time with you anyways. It's become, like, second nature to open up to you.
I don't know, man. If that's how you feel, then just imagine my face as the earth so you can tell the whole world if you have to. Just give yourself something to do. Oh, no, I know what you're thinking. Don't you fucking dare.
You're a genius!
Don't you fucking dare!
Okay, keep the camera there. It's perfect. I can't believe you came up with this idea.
No one's gonna watch you talk about how much you like music. I bet my life on it.
Nah. You're just jealous because you're so short that you can't reach on the camera screen.
If I kick your shins in, you won't fit on the camera either.
No. Anyway, press the record button when you're ready. Oh, okay. Hi everyone. I should introduce myself. I'm Messi. I really like music. Like, a lot. It kind of makes up a whole basis of my personality, surprisingly. Like, I wouldn't be who I am probably without so many influences tonatically. I don't think I'm the only one either. I know so many people who are like, oh, I wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for this band or this song. It's integral for defining who you are, and that's why I don't think there's any bad music. Yeah, I'm gonna review music on this channel alongside other things, but I don't think I'm gonna hold any of it up against one another, cause, like, it's subjective. It's the most subjective media out there. Sure, there can be shitty produced songs, simplistic writing, and lazy effort put in.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. The Seven Nation Army.
And there can be overall dips in quality from one piece to another. But, like, if that music means something to someone, then it's not bad. At all.
She wasn't only just my mother.
The album COKEFLOAT by Paws kind of means that to me. It helped me shape my ideology, my personality, and my influences from when I found it years ago. It's a debut album from Paws, a Scottish rock band from Glasgow. And with this debut comes its debut sound, something that almost sort of feels 90s to me. With its recording and production, it's sort of like the microphone placement in front of the amplifiers not only takes me back to that 90s feel from albums past, but could also be attributed to the songwriting and the guitar-driven tones. But also makes me feel like I'm experiencing this album live. And that's fucking wonderful. That's what I love from an album. I get lost in the music this way, and I adore it. I think the thing is with this album, this music, the indie rock sound holds something so compelling, so innocent yet matured with its tones. I don't know how to describe it other than the thought of running down the street on a Tuesday night, going into all the abandoned buildings, laughing with your friends with the adrenaline you're feeling, but then leaving your friends and going home, and that strange purgatory of hype, yet also dissonance from everything that you've had happen while you were out. That's how it makes me feel. Because I can imagine that's how the band were feeling when they wrote it. It is a debut after all. There were no worries to please mainstream audiences or to bring in a stable income from the music. Sort of. Everything in the album sounds like it's written not just for the reason of appeasing whichever local fan base the band might have had at the time of release, but it sounds personal, emotionally heavy. Stands out from the typical indie rock album releases for this reason to me. I think this melancholy overseeing this album first displays itself evidenced with the second track on the album, Jellyfish. Something about these major chords that feels slightly dissonated. It's calming, but still holds a lot of energy too. Like a show of fireworks in the night sky that make you feel at ease, yet make you want to live. It's beautiful. And because of this unconventional beauty, the lyrics of confusion, high school dramas, stressing with becoming a young adult, it all lends itself beautifully to the tracks and brings me closer to the music. Speaking of the sound of the music, I gotta bring up the guitar and bass tones, because while they're simple, they're extremely effective in representing the sound. They're surprisingly crisp from what I'd expect, especially for a debut, and not as if they've been plugged directly into an audio interface. They've just been captured really well and blend beautifully with the drums, especially that bass, which doesn't go overboard with effects but still has such a gentle warmth to it that it's high and just makes my little heart go hee. Sore Tummy is the 7th track on the album and is probably the most notable, having been included in video games and being featured as the most prominent track from Paws' discography. The only track on the album with guest vocals, being supplied by singer Alice Costello of Big Deal. The track is probably the best example of this type of sound this album exhibits and the feelings it ensures. It's got like a Silver Sun pickups vibe to it, something that makes the song feel soft and gentle with energy being exhibited. The song feels like the obvious standout, being the lead single and appearing in that guitar game. Rocksmith. I actually learned how to play because of that. Like, I took guitar lessons for a few years during school and kind of gave up around grade 8. I only really learnt like Jingle Bells and Deck the Halls to that point. My guitar teacher kept trying to teach me, but being a young student, I just wasn't interested. So like, I didn't play again until 2014 when I was like, hey, I should learn this. And I just kept playing and learning from Ultimate Guitar and Rocksmith. And I think there was something else. I'm not sure. Guitar lessons suck though. That's what I'm getting at. Just self-teach yourself guitar. Please don't pay for guitar lessons. Anyway, there's something cool that the last lyric of the track Get Bent does, which it's already a pretty song, an acoustic ballad to break up the heavy instrumentation and instead focus itself on some lyrical communication. I'm fond of the part where the last lyric says, "How can I depend on you?" Which then leads right into the next track, Tulip, which begins with "Somebody cares a lot for you." I don't know. I thought it was sort of cool. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's kind of dorky. Actually, it's I don't know. Sort of cute in the way that the album decides that.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I've never done one of these before. Everyone is so fluent with talking about music, but this is my first time. Leave me alone.
Just don't push your video too far. You're beginning to ramble.
Should I finish up now? Cool. Well, I really like this album. It holds a special place in my heart, and while it may be a very simplistic indie rock release, it was my first simplistic indie rock release to experience, and it has a lot of sentimental value to me. Warm, gentle, energetic at times, dissonant and melancholic, the album makes me feel strange ways as lended by the instrumentation. I feel young and confused about what I'm doing in life, which sometimes you want to feel that way. Moments like the guitar solo within the song Pony, the beginning of Jellyfish, and the explosion of energy in Sore Tummy are some of my favourite moments from this musical offering. And I'll respect this album for what it showed me. How was that? Was that enough? I don't know how that's gonna end up. What if I talk too little, too much? How do I know if I had the right amount of info or not? What do I do if people don't like it, but it's uploaded?
Calm down. You won't get like any subscribers immediately anyway.
What? Excuse me? How dare you? I just fucking tried so hard on this. I'm so bad at speaking. It's stressful.
No, I mean like, you know it's gonna take time for people to find this, right?
So I'm going through this video with very little.
I thought you were making this for passion. Dude, people have to find your channel first. That means you gotta appear in the suggested tabs, have networking, build like an audience.
Okay. So I just gotta wait for a bit.
Yes, if you're an actor, you can't jump straight into Hollywood, unless, you know, you're rich enough.
Okay. Well, I'll start figuring out how to edit.
Do I have to help out more? Messy. Fucking... doing?
I installed one of those fucking clappy light thingies, but they're not working.
A clapper?
Yeah, a clappy. It's not fucking, can you see anything changing?
Why did you buy a clapper? You're not that lazy.
Yeah, but I thought that I might, move this room around a bit as I make videos. What if I need to put stuff in front of the light switch? See, Tara, I'm forward thinking. Did you see that?
For what reason are you gonna move shit in front of the light switch? You don't need anything other than, like, a wall to make videos. That's all you fucking used last time. Why are you making a big deal of this?
Well, what if this turns into more than videos, right? I can install some foam isolators on the walls, fit some instruments in here as I collect some. It could be good to have a room to, have to our own to make shit. You could paint your art in here.
I mean, I sorta see where you're coming from with this.
Yeah.
Wait, I think in my frustration I gazed over the fact you said you're gonna make more videos.
Well, I'm planning on it, but I'm drawing a blank as to where to go after my first review. Plus, I can't get anything done with all this useless energy. Oh my god!
What?
Damn it! Hey everyone! Messy here! I've had a shit day. I've been trying to install this clappy thing for like an hour now. I thought I had all the parts together to be able to detect the clapping in the room, but it's not really working very... Anyway,
Someone's gonna bleed and dribble trails in the snow.
I've been a big fan of Jeff Rosenstock for a pretty decent amount of time, but enough time and enough listens to be able to know that his music speaks more than volumes to me. He's one of my favorite vocalists and songwriters of recent times, just due to the sheer amount of adolescence he bleeds into his songs and lyrics, to a point where, despite his clearly aging voice, I was still surprised to find that the man is actually in his mid-30s. I mean, sure, that shouldn't be something that results in me finding out and thinking, whoa, wasn't expecting that, but it sorta was. Just because of the way that his albums of his, like Worry, deal with these themes of insecurity and desperation to find a formation and a life that best suits you, which I could argue is more a theme of songwriting that best falls under early to mid-20s songwriting themology. But then again, this is sort of a staple of Jeff Rosenstock with his earlier work from his younger years too. Jeff Rosenstock started his life with Bum the Music Industry in 2004, taking on lead vocals and guitar for his pursued instruments. And I'm gonna be honest, I've listened to Bum the Music Industry before, but it doesn't quite have the level of power and emotional turmoil written into it as the solo material by Jeff does. It definitely has a sound for sure, a sound in the music that isn't replicated much but is absolutely perfect. Throughout both his musical career pursuings, Jeff has managed to blend ska and punk into this beautiful, empowering adolescent sound that uses the power of his musical ensembles to its full potential. His work with Bum the Music Industry takes on a much rawer sound, a lot more aggressive take on the music that was produced from the many, many members of the group that have passed through the work. There was a lot of material there to dissect, but hey, I'm no gamer, so I'm just gonna leave the albums where they are. But what I can say is there are a lot of albums. A lot. If I could recommend one, I would probably say To Leave or Die in Long Island, just due to its sheer focused sound in the presentation of its songs. Now, Jeff's solo career. We cool? Fucking gorgeous. Worry, one of my all-time favorite albums ever. Absolutely perfect in every way. And Post, a perfect successor. Post was sent to all of us online as a surprise gift by Rosenstock in early 2018, and oh man, beats Christmas in my opinion by a long shot. I think it's the fact that this album came out at just the perfect time for me, when all I could think about was the growing loss of hope for where I was living, how I wanted another place to live, to breathe, to kind of have the experiences I so longingly desired. Even though I still felt the overwhelming feeling that no place would be perfect. This is one reason I found Post to resonate so deeply inside with his songwriting. Worry was good, but focused a lot on isolation and self-depreciation, which I have never suffered too strongly from in my own experiences.
When you're a ghost, when you're a ghost, you sit around and talk about how they liked you the most.
I think the instrumentals on Worry are superior. However, Post really holds a special place in my heart. It is to Jeff Rosenstock what Pinkerton is to Weezer. The first, second, but if the first one is a sort of opening interlude, then does that make Wait, so I'm just gonna call it the first song. I'm never really that sure what those types of songs are called. So anyway, I'll look this up. Song that begins an album name. Oh, it's just called Opener. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, this opener can't go unstated for what it is.
Dumbfounded, downtrodden, and dejected, crestfallen grief.
USA is quite possibly one of my favorite openers to any album, let alone it being my favorite song of 2018 so far. The fact that it's lengthier than most conventional Jeff Rosenstock songs actually draws me to the song, especially when you consider the fact that it's so chock-a-block full of great instrumentation and fun moments, while also holding a heart in itself. The drums and gang vocals hold this song high on a pedestal, especially towards the end of the track. The song does a good job of setting up the album as a moodier, more intimate experience with the listener than Worry and We Cool before it. I think this is partially due to the use of keys and synth over the guitar lines and riffs. It's subtle, but effective, and it sets up the album perfectly. That "we're tired, we're bored" section is one of the most pivotal and memorable parts of the entire album too.
We're dead, we're blood, we're dead, we're blood. We're dead, we're blood, we're dead.
Also cowbell. I know cowbell is overrated and sort of dorky, but it's still cowbell, so cowbell. I think Your Throat following the song is perfect, bringing the pace up immensely and throwing us into the more conventional Rosenstock sound without going into the ska punk themes of Worry and We Cool before it. It's fun and punky with its heavier drives in the instrumentation, but it doesn't sacrifice the emotion put into the song by emphasizing the low ends in the production and the melodic chorus included in the song. It sort of also sets up the rest of the album, showing the complete opposite side of the spectrum in comparison to USA. Some songs are longer and more harmonic, with thicker instrumentation, and some songs are more usual for the artist's sound while not being too typical in comparison to the rest of the discography. All these songs share some things though. The harmonic qualities of the vocals and choruses, the emphasis on deeper keys moments, and the low-end heavy production. On the topic of this more traditional Rosenstock tone to some tracks, I find that Powerlessness, Beating My Head Against the Wall, and Melba also dabble into that territory. I can't see these songs working in any context outside of this album, but I think the traditional aspect of the songwriting and instrumentation is certainly more familiar territory. But in terms of something new with this album, the slower paced songs actually catch my attention quite a lot more than the faster ones do.
I can't see you in another's arms. Like it's cool, I just can't.
TV Stars is beautiful but powerful, feeling more personal than most other songs in the album. Actually, even in Jeff's discography. I think this is a case of the album putting lyrics rather far ahead too, having an interesting personal topic explored, not being the talented, beautiful person, but trying to get by and suck it up by making the most of what you have. The song is absolutely incredible, strong and powerful, highlighted the album in my honest opinion, with strong melodies and heartfelt lyrics to go alongside it. 9 out of 10 might just be a love song, but it's a love song that, again, feels darker, less like it's being written for the sake of being written, and more like there's some personal attachment to what's being written. Something that was felt and recollected for the writing of the song.
Every night you go to bed, you wake up just a little more in pain.
This whole album just, it sort of feels like it belongs in the early 70s with its raw energy and its beautiful melodic moments. There's something about the production, the instrumentation, the personal attachment, the imperfections that make it so personal to me. I don't know. It might also be because this album came out at a time in a place when I sort of needed it the most. I was considering who I was and where I was taking my future at the point this album dropped, and it embodied all my looming fears into a perfect selection of 10 9-ish songs, depending on if you're being picky about, that. And to be quite honest, it seemed like an album that would really move you upon seeing it live. Likewise, definitely one of the best rock albums of 2018. Deserves a round of applause from me.
No fucking way.
Did you? Did I?
No fucking way. You haven't done anything since I started recording.
Unless, like, the fuse didn't kick in until just now. Maybe the connections or something?
You proud of yourself?
Yeah. I didn't think it would actually work. I feel like I want to keep working on this room now.
I'm going downstairs. Just don't make our energy bill too high, please.